Hi, I'm Miranda Daisy, the founder of Performability, and for the last 17 years, I've been helping people with disabilities find their voice through dance, music, and performance. But now it's my turn to use mine. I want to open up conversations about inclusion, disability, and a lack of access in the arts, and share the teaching strategies that help teachers bring out the best in every student. Because I believe the arts can change the world. But one Daisy can only do so much. So, if you'd like to learn, grow, create change with me, and be a flower in the chain, welcome to the Daisy Chain Effect podcast. Hi, I'm Miranda, and welcome to episode 3 of the Daisy Chain Effect podcast. I'm going to say it. I'm just going to say it. I hate the word aw, as in aw, because oh my God, my students work so hard. They work so hard, and I push them. If you ever come to visit the Performability Studio, you will see how much I push my students. And when they get up on stage, if the audience is like, "Aw," it really, really pisses me off. It's so condescending, and it is not the right reaction. It is not the right reaction, and they deserve so much more. Let me tell you, when people come and visit the Performability Studio, 9 times out of 10, when they leave, they say to me, wow, they're so good. I mean, I'm so surprised at how much they can do and how much you push them. And I'm always like, I'm so surprised that you're so surprised, because people are so quick to make these, have these preconceived ideas of what people with disabilities can and cannot do. And if that's how we were, our program would crumble. My favorite part about working with Performability is meeting a student who I have to figure out, and meeting a student who I think, I'm pretty keen to see how they do this. Not they can't or how are they going to, just I'm really excited and interested to see how they adapt this for them. When we run our teacher training programs, one of the most popular questions I get is, but can you just give me some strategies on how to adapt something for someone who's different? Or when I'm teaching, and say if there's someone in a wheelchair in my class, do I give them options and I give the other people different options? How do I do that? And it's such a great question. And my answer is always, let them show you what they can do first. I don't just hand out adaptions to people. I love to see what it is that they can do, because you need to remember they're adapting for themselves all day long. And often they will ask, Miss Miranda, can you give me an idea for this part? Miss Miranda, how do you want me to do that? Miss Miranda, I can't do that. Can you show me something else? But never do I say, hey, everyone, we're going to do this and you are going to do this version, unless we've had a conversation around that particular move and they've already told me that that's something that they can't do. Then I'll make a plan for that. But this condescending, oh, wow, oh gosh, it's so inspiring. It's quite exhausting. And that's as an advocate for inclusion. I mean, it's just I can't even imagine how it makes the students feel. I've asked them, but I can only imagine how much more intensely they feel those feelings if I'm feeling them too. The other word that may surprise you that I've come to really dislike, well, there's a few actually, is the R word. I hate the R word. And I'm talking about the word rewarding. When I tell people what I do, they will say, wow, you are amazing. That must be so rewarding. Even last night. This happened to me last night. And I just think, you have no idea. I run a business. I run a business just like any other business owner. It is really hard at times. And of course, there are so many so many positives. And don't get me wrong, I love my business and I love my job and I love the path that I'm on. But I don't think of it as something that is rewarding. I think of it as a mission and an obligation and something I'm really passionate about. I do think it's rewarding for the students. I do see how much they get out of it, and I see how much it means to them and the changes and the improvements to their lives and the families and the connections and the friends that they've made. And I can see how the program is so rewarding for them. For me, I feel proud, but I don't feel like it's rewarding. And let me tell you, because I'm here on this platform to be really honest with you, and this job is hard. I mean, on top of running a business, I am often fighting for things that I think are not fair, advocating for things in the space, dealing with the challenges that come with NDIS, and feeling quite probably too much. And yes, I do go to therapy for this, connected to my students and how they feel and their families and what they go through. And sometimes I take that home more than I should. So the work that I do is a bit of an emotional roller coaster. And then throw on top of that deadlines and projects and events. And we're always doing 100 million things because I can't say no and I want to. And I never say no to opportunities. So yes, it's my own fault. But there's lots of different stresses. And when it becomes too much, and I'm sure a lot of people listening can relate to this, I have moments where I just don't think I can do it anymore. And my team will tell you at least once a year. At least once a year, I think, oh, I just don't think I can do it anymore. And sometimes it's because of overwhelming stress. Sometimes it's because I feel underappreciated, which seems, I mean, it's hard to even say that, but sometimes I feel underappreciated, and then sometimes I feel overappreciated and emotional, and yeah, it's really hard at times, and much to some people's surprise, perhaps, working in a space, working in a service-based industry, there's a lot of financial ups and downs as well. And I have a team that I need to look after and my own life and well-being. And so it's a lot. And in those moments of, oh my God, I can't do this anymore, I'm not thinking, but it's so rewarding. The thing that stops me from quitting or passing the baton is the look on the students' faces or their families' faces when they achieve something great. And achieving something great might be after years of stepping on the pillow instead of jumping over the pillow, they finally jump over the pillow in class. And I cry and I cheer, and those moments, it's those memories that come back to me. Achieving something great might be after years of intense stage fright, stepping out of the wings and going on stage for a couple of seconds instead of hiding in the foyer. Achieving something great might be standing on one foot and balancing after years of gravitational insecurities and fear of falling over. Achieving something great might look like in the foyer telling a friend that you hope they have a good weekend when usually you have such crippling social anxiety, you duck straight out of class and go into the car. Achieving something great might be instead of having your guitar lesson in the car park because you're too scared to come into the space, you actually come into the foyer. These are the moments that I have flashbacks of in my mind when I think, I can't do this anymore. And so when students step on stage in front of a small or a large audience, and I know what it's taken to get there, and the response is, "Aw," that's why it fills me with this frustration, because people have no idea. They don't deserve an awe. They deserve a F yeah. Like, oh my God, we finally got to this incredible achievement. Incredible achievement. And pride is an understatement. I think the things that we feel as teachers in those moments is this euphoric sense of pride, and nothing beats that. Nothing beats that. So that's what will always keep me going. To us, it's the small achievements that are the biggest wins. The biggest wins. Pointing your feet is not the most important thing in our classes. We drill it, don't get me wrong, and we break it down like you wouldn't believe. But, I mean, that's a whole other topic. When you yell at people to point their feet, have you actually shown them what that means and why we should be doing it? But I digress. Yes, the wins for us are so different. And we have a wins channel at work. And in the wins channel, it is things like that, such and such asked such and such if they'd be their friend today. We're like, oh my God, that's amazing. Going from being so quiet and having so much social anxiety. Another person the other day came into the studio, and I said to them, because a lot of our students are quite honest, which is amazing. We've all started to catch this, catch this thing of being honest and blunt, and I highly recommend. It's great for the soul, and also you very quickly wean out people in your life who are not your people. But we had a student come in, and I said, "Hey, how are you today?" And she said, "I'm not great, but I'm better now that I'm here." And I just was like, "Oh my God. I just said to her, that means so much to me. I'm so happy that this is a place for you." I'm getting emotional. Where you feel that way. And she said, "Oh, I just love it here. I just feel like I can just be me." And I said, "Come more. Please come more. We want this to feel like that space for you and your second family." And then we have another student, when we ask how she is, she says, "Well, my body's fine, but my brain's not today." Or, it's incredible actually how well our students a lot of them can articulate their feelings and advocate. Well, I guess advocating for what they need is the next step, but even the first step of recognizing how they feel and being able to express that is pretty inspiring. I mean, I also hate that word. That's the third word I hate, inspiring. But in that case, it is inspiring, because I'll tell you why the word inspiring annoys me, and then I'll explain how that particular situation, that is the right way to use the word. So people say what I do is rewarding, right? The other thing they say is, "It's so inspiring. You're so inspiring." And if you have said this to me before, don't feel awkward and bad about it. I'm not coming out to get you, but to me, the word inspiring means that you've felt a certain way about something, and it's created this drive in you to then take action. That's what I think inspiring is. And so in the case of the student recognizing how they feel and expressing that to me, I find that inspiring, because it makes me want to actually do that now. I'm like, great, I find you quite a good role model for expressing my emotions. So I'm inspired by what you said. I'm going to start doing that with other people, like, oh, my brain's pretty good today, but my body's not, or whatever it is. What annoys me about the word inspiring is when people say something inspiring and then they don't take action. They don't do anything about it. I don't think that's inspiring. I think that what they're actually feeling is admiration. I think they're admiring, thinking, "Oh, that's a great thing to do," but not wanting to do it themselves. So if you are inspired by my students and the work that we do, go and do it. Go and create opportunities for people with disabilities. Change something in your business that makes it welcoming for all. Advocate for something that somebody needs. You don't have to go and open a disability program, but start doing something that, if they've inspired you, you want to help. You want to be a part of this movement in the best way possible, in the right way, not a tick the box way, but in an actually asking people what they need and figuring out how to give it and create it with them. If you're not going to do that, then you're admiring. And that's okay too. Not everyone has the capacity, to do things all the time. Okay, quick little pause. When I started this podcast, someone told me that 70% of people wouldn't care about it, 20% of people would hate something I say, and 10% would love it and find it life-changing. If you're part of the 10%, if you could take 2 seconds to like, subscribe, or follow wherever you're listening, it would be a really huge help to me and help me be able to reach more people. Okay, back to the episode. So that's my rant on my 3 words. I don't like the word awe. I don't like the word rewarding. And I don't like the word inspiring unless you're going to take action. To leave on a positive note, I will share with you some words that I do love. I do love and I do feel in the space that we work in. I feel driven. I feel a sense of justice, which is my biggest value. Hi, buddy. Here's my little puppy's just come to join. Just as we're finishing, bud. So I want to leave you with this today. Instead of assuming what your students can do or can't do, let them show you. Let them show you what they can do. Stop assuming that people can't do something because you've either seen what you think is their capacity or they look as though they can't do something. And this isn't the same as pushing them. This isn't the same as, I know you've got this in you, I'm going to push you. This is not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the students that you can think of in your mind who you have kind of put in a box of, they're always going to be the just for, what do you call them? Once a weekers, the once a week kids. They're never going to be a professional. They're always in the back row. The kid that, just kind of plods along but isn't anything amazing. Give him a chance to shine and see what happens. I used to love this experiment of the students that are in that back row, in the back corner of your class, that just kind of always hover in the back row, in the back corner. Put them in the front. Put them in the front and see what happens. I have a theory with this after trying it many times over. When we're in the back line of a dance class, we kind of know, who's in the back, why they're in the back. I have a theory that goes along with this experiment. When you are a student that's in the back row, you're learning in a very different way than when you are put in the front. In the back, it's almost this subconscious thought of, no one's going to see me, I don't have to work as hard, I'm actually not getting the best instructions because I'm following either between people that I'm trying to see the teacher, or I'm kind of following the other students who are not giving it exactly the same as the teacher. There's a different energy in the back. There's a different level of confidence. And so you kind of just simmer because you've sort of accepted this is where I'm going to be. I urge you to put that person in the front and see what happens, because often they completely level up. Their confidence grows 5 times as fast. They can actually see themselves. They can see the teacher. The rapport between that student and teacher is different. And you know that if you're in the back, you can't have the same connection with the teacher as you can when you're in the front row. There's a sense of almost responsibility in being in the front, and a bit of pride too that comes with that. So I love doing the from the back to the front row experiment and seeing how that changes students and sort of just gives them this this confidence to level up. It's like permission to level up. I think the biggest disservice we can do is not give students that opportunity, and then they just kind of will simmer in the back forever. So think about that. Imagine what would happen if all the dancers in Australia right now that are in the back row got pushed to the front row. I just feel like thousands of children's confidence would improve. Potentially the friendships they would make would improve and change. And if you know what I'm talking about. The kids at the back, they're in a different game. I imagine what would happen if they all just got permission to level up. So that's what we do. And we put students, the ones the weaker kids are often the ones that get a feature or a moment in the front, in the center, in a solo. And we're always impressed by what people can do. We're always impressed by what people can do. It never shocks me when someone shocks me because I'm expecting to be constantly impressed by what people can do. And I am every day. And you can be too if you just give people a chance. And one Daisy can only do so much and create so many opportunities, but together we can change the world. So join the chain and I'll see you next time. Before we wrap up, a quick little reminder. Everything shared on this podcast comes from my personal experience working in the performing arts and inclusion space. It's here for education, ideas, and conversation, not professional medical, legal, or therapeutic advice. Always chat with the right professionals for your specific situation and keep asking the good questions. Bye for now.